Welcome to the European Association for Higher Education Advancement's YouTube and podcast channel. All right, so you wanted to know more about landing that dream job, huh? Even if you don't perfectly fit what they're looking for, we're going to unpack this blog post from the European Association for Higher Education Advancement.
Okay.
And I have to say, it's got some really good advice, even if you're not out there pounding the pavement right now.
Yeah, it's interesting how it digs into the psychology of the whole thing,
Yeah.
the whole hiring process. I think that's really valuable, whether you're actively looking or not.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So the first thing that kind of jumped out at me was that they said to apply even if you don't check all the boxes. Is that really a good strategy?
It really can be.
Yeah.
We tend to think we need to be the perfect candidate on paper, but hiring managers are often looking for more than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want someone who's a good fit for the team, someone who's really passionate about the work, and someone who has that potential to grow.
So it's more about the human element than just checking off boxes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Put yourself in the hiring manager's shoes for a sec. They're looking for someone to solve a problem, someone to contribute to the team, and ultimately someone to make their lives easier. The resume is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And speaking of that human element, the article really emphasizes referrals. Why are those so important?
Oh, they totally cut through the noise. Think about it. If someone you trust recommends a candidate, you're going to pay more attention, right?
Right.
It's like a shortcut to building credibility. You're not just a name on a page anymore. You're someone who's been vouched for.
Okay. So they even suggest using LinkedIn to reach out to people you might not know. Is that too forward?
Not necessarily. It's all about how you approach it. People generally like to help, share their experiences, offer advice, especially if you're respectful of their time and you show genuine interest in what they do.
So it's about building a relationship, not just asking for a favor.
Exactly. And even if that connection doesn't lead to a job, you've expanded your network. You've gotten insights.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about the cover letter. The article's really adamant that you should always send one, even if it's optional. Why is that so important?
Well, it's your chance to tell your story in a way that a resume just can't. It's where you connect the dots between your experience and what the job actually requires. You can showcase your personality, your passion, and those all-important transferable skills that might not be obvious from the resume alone.
So for someone who maybe doesn't have the exact experience listed, the cover letter becomes even more crucial.
Absolutely. It's your chance to bridge that gap. Show how your unique skills and experiences, even if they're from a different field, can be valuable to this specific role.
Okay, so it's not just about restating your resume. It's about making a case for why you're the right person.
Precisely. Highlight your potential and your enthusiasm for the role.
Right. The article also mentions acing assessments, if they're part of the process. How can those be a good thing? Especially for someone who might not have the ideal background on paper.
Well, assessments level the playing field. They shift the focus from what's on your resume to what you can actually do. It's a chance to prove your skills in action, which is really powerful if you're trying to break into a new field.
So it's like saying, look, I might not have years of experience in this exact industry,
Yeah,
but I can do the job. Here's proof.
exactly. And that kind of initiative and willingness to prove yourself speaks volumes.
It shows you're not afraid of a challenge.
Right. And it can help you stand out from other candidates who might have more traditional qualifications.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, what if someone realizes they're missing a specific skill? That's crucial for their dream job. The article actually suggests taking the initiative to acquire those missing skills. That seems pretty proactive.
It is, and it's a smart move, especially these days. The good news is there are tons of resources available online and offline for developing new skills. And this is where organizations like the European Association for Higher Education Advancement play a crucial role. They offer a ton of resources for professional development, from online courses to certification programs to workshops and networking events. They can help you figure out what skills you need, find the right learning pathways, and connect with other professionals in your field.
So they're not just saying, go learn this stuff. They're actually providing the avenues to do it.
Exactly. And that's what makes their advice so valuable. They're offering practical solutions.
That's great. It sounds like they're really invested in helping people. But how can someone even figure out what skills they need? There's so much out there. It could be overwhelming.
It's a good question. The article suggests you start by really looking at those job descriptions, break down the bullet points, compare them to what you already know. Where do you see gaps?
So kind of like a self-assessment, figuring out where you're strong and where you might need to beef things up.
Exactly. And don't just think about technical skills either. Soft skills like communication, problem solving, leadership, those are super transferable across industries, and employers love them.
That makes sense. So once you've kind of identified those gaps, how do you navigate all the courses and programs and resources out there? It's a lot.
Yeah, it can feel like a lot. This is where those organizations we were talking about can really help.
Yeah.
Like the European Association for Higher Education Advancement, they know a ton about different learning pathways. They can point you in the right direction based on your goals and your budget.
So it's like having a roadmap for skill development.
Exactly. You're not just guessing. And remember, formal education isn't the only way networking events. Workshops, even volunteer stuff can expose you to new skills and boost your resume.
Speaking of valuable experiences, I was just reading about this thing called T-shaped skills. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the idea of having deep expertise in one area. That's like the vertical part of the T, but also a broader understanding of other relevant fields. That's the horizontal part.
So the vertical is your specialization,
Yeah.
and the horizontal is all those transferable skills.
Exactly. It's like a superpower in today's job market. Employers want people who can adapt, think critically about tough problems, collaborate with different kinds of people.
So it's not enough to just be a specialist anymore. Got to have
Yeah.
that solid foundation.
Yeah.
And be able to apply your knowledge in different ways.
Right. And the best part is, it's not just for job hunting. It's a way of life that can make your whole life better.
Okay, now you're really making me think. Can you say more about that?
Well, think about it. Those principles we've been talking about, identifying gaps, seeking growth, being open to new stuff, those apply to way more than just your career.
So it's like life skills, not just job hunting skills.
Absolutely. Let's say you're into playing guitar, but you've always been scared to sing. Instead of avoiding it, you could use the same approach. Take lessons, join a choir, find a singing buddy.
I get it. It's about that same mindset of continuous learning and growth. Apply it to anything you want to get better at.
Yeah, and the payoff goes beyond just being a better singer or whatever. It's about building confidence, expanding your horizons, embracing that joy of learning new things.
Okay, you've convinced me. But let's get back to job hunting for a minute. We talked about applying even when you don't perfectly match. Referrals, cover letters, acing assessments, acquiring skills. What else should people think about?
One thing we haven't really touched on is networking. And I don't just mean collecting business cards. It's about building real connections, having conversations, showing your passion.
So more about building relationships than just trying to get your foot in the door.
Exactly. Networking is a two-way street. Be generous with your time, share your knowledge, offer support. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it.
That's where something like LinkedIn comes in, right?
For sure. It's great for connecting with people in your industry, staying up to date, and even finding those hidden job openings.
So even if you're feeling kind of lost, you can find help and resources.
Absolutely. It's not about having all the answers or being perfect on paper. It's about being proactive, persistent, passionate about what you want to do.
This is really encouraging. It feels like we've got a plan now,
Yeah.
you know? So to recap, don't rule yourself out. Referrals are key. Cover letters matter. Acing those assessments can really make you stand out. And learning new stuff is always a win. What would you say is like the most important first step for someone who wants to actually put all this into action?
I'd say the biggest thing is really believing that you don't have to be perfect to go for that dream job. So many
Yeah.
people don't even try because they think they don't tick every box.
Yeah, it's like we put up these walls in our minds.
Exactly. And those walls can really hold you back. Got to break them down. Say, hey, I'm going to give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen?
It's scary though, right? Putting yourself out there knowing you could get rejected.
It is. But think about the payoff land. In that job you thought you had no chance at, that's way better than just letting fear win.
So let's say someone takes that leap and applies. What happens next?
Prep time. If you get an interview, do your homework. Research the company, the role, the people you're going to meet.
So it's more than just knowing your resume. It's about understanding the whole picture.
Exactly. Think about how you fit in with their goals and values. Be ready to explain why you're so excited about this specific job and how you can help them succeed.
And this is where those transferable skills come in handy.
Big time, employers want to see that you can adapt, solve problems, communicate well. Those are gold in any job.
So even if you don't have years of experience in that exact area, you can still show them what you're capable of by highlighting those transferable skills.
Exactly. Show them you're a well-rounded person who's ready to learn and grow.
I like that. And it goes back to that whole lifelong learning thing we were talking about.
It does. And remember, learning doesn't stop once you get the job.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing thing. Embrace those opportunities to grow. Find mentors. Stay curious.
Journey's just beginning.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be the one giving advice and support to someone else on their journey.
That's a great point. Now I got to ask, what's the one thing you'd tell someone who's feeling discouraged? Like the job hunt is getting them down.
Don't give up. It's easy to get bogged down by rejections or those endless applications, but every no is just a step closer to a yes.
So it's all about resilience,
Yeah.
persistence, keeping the faith.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to lean on your support system. Talk to people, friends, family mentors, career counselors. There are people out there rooting for you.
This has been really inspiring. It reminds me that landing your dream job isn't about luck or being perfect. It's about mindset preparation and having the guts to put yourself out there.
Couldn't agree more. And the skills and things we talked about today, they're not just for job hunting. They can help you reach any goal you set for yourself.
That's a great takeaway. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to thank you for sharing your insights and reminding us that we can all create the future we want.
Happy to be here. And remember, the journey's just as important as the destination.
So just to sum up, don't rule yourself out. Referrals are your friend. Make that cover letter shine. Ace those assessments.
Yes!
And never stop learning.
And don't forget how those transferable skills can not only help you get a job, but also make your life richer and more fulfilling.
So to everyone listening, we challenge you to think about how you can use all of this. What are your dream jobs? What skills do you want to learn? What can you do today to get closer to those goals?
And remember, the European Association for Higher Education Advancement is a great resource for anyone looking for professional development and guidance on their career path.
Please don't forget to follow the European Association for Higher Education Advancement on YouTube and social media.